Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hope you're doing well. So, I saw London Starbuck, wife of Robbie Starbuck, post a video on her Instagram speaking out against a video where a mother celebrated taking her very, very, very young daughter to a drag queen show and handing money to the stripper drag queen on a stage and allowed the drag queen to pick up the child and dance around. It is quite scary how this type of behavior of grooming of children is promoted, where strippers are being around children and some of the most creepiest forms of strippers being allowed around children. And if you haven't seen it yet, Modern Day Debate, you know the YouTube channel, hosted a debate between Alex Stein and Vosh on their channel about drag queens and kids. Vosh is someone who I really, really have a deep distaste for as a human being. As a human being, I think he enables grooming. He wants to lower the age of consent. He's a bisexual male. I really do not care for any of his principles. I watched some of his videos, been watching him for quite some time now when he only had very few subscribers. He got famous for attacking Ben Shapiro and doing reactionary videos. He loves to cut people's videos out of context and call everyone a Nazi. He's not a very genuine person, and his fans are some of the most far left wackos you'll ever meet. So he is a good example of the future of what we're going to have to deal with, because his movement will be the new Democrat Party in America. I really believe that. And let's put it this way, him defending drag queens around kids, he's encouraging his thousands of fans to engage in this behavior. He justified it. Mind you, he is not a father. Okay? So he has no children. And if he was a father, I'd be very, very worried for his children about what type of inverted satanic family they'd be growing up in and what kind of woman would marry a man like that. It's absolutely disgusting. But if you listen to that debate, it's hard to deal with. You'll begin to realize America is in some trouble now. These drag queen shows, even Tim Dillon, the comedian who's gay, who I don't really listen to him that much anymore. He had some good comedy, but he started getting too vulgar about gay stuff. So I had to stop listening because it no longer became about comedy. It became about making listeners want to throw up in their mouths. But he started saying in one of his stand-up that it's very fringe, it's very out of the norm for these drag queen story hours to that are occurring. They say it doesn't really happen, so you don't have to worry about it. But that's a lie. Now it's getting more and more and more and as they make mothers work, as mothers start to not be as guardians in their children's lives, as fathers get more and more into porn, and the families start using drugs, turning away from God, the schools will move in and be doing drag queen shows. More and more so. There's already been several news stories that high schools hosted drag queen shows, and Desmond, Amazing Desmond they call him, he's a young boy who has been groomed by his parents to think he's a girl. He went to a gay bar, he's underage, was dancing and pretending to take his clothes off, and gay men and drag queens and adult women gave him money, and he was dressed as a girl. So we can already see they're increasing their efforts, not retreating. And I feel like this is a very important issue that it affects the world. And this type of dark arts energy is going to increase. And if you don't create if we actually, all of us rather, like you individually and all of us, don't create a parallel economy where we support each other, these people will be your bosses. They will hold your job hostage. And I want you to recognize how they get you into debt for their house, car, and college so that you cannot quit your job as easy. And they will be at those jobs, ruling over you, making sure you bow to them and bow to money instead of God. So I want you to be safe, and I want you to be smart, and I want you to seek other paths of earning money in the halal way. Stay as good as you can, survive as best you can, because these people are going to expand, and before you know it, LinkedIn, Facebook, they will censor you, all of them. All the apps will censor you if you start speaking out against this grooming of children. And when it gets invited into your schools, it'll be hard to get the schools to stop. You won't have an option to homeschool. They'll literally corrupt your children right in front of you, and you'll be helpless to stop it. So I highly encourage you to think of solutions that work for your niche area. Whether you already have it and you want to get rid of it, or you want to make sure it never can happen. And if you're going to be stupid and tell me, I live in this country, it can never happen here, I'm sorry, you're wrong. Countries can come together and put sanctions on your nation and bring it to its knees, and then you'll be surprised how when people are starving, they'll do anything they want to try to get back to what they had. And these globalized institutions will put pressure on your nation, and your own people will eventually have their will broken and flip on you and turn on you. So it's better to prevent it instead of thinking it'll never happen and then doing nothing to prevent it. You have to be proactive. You have to watch out. More and more now, there's that stripper culture creeping upon children. It's for a reason. And then when they have corrupted a lot of the children, they will come for the religious children, and your poor sweet religious child will be surrounded by really wicked people. And we must be wary of that. We must be cautious of it. So think about what I said and pray for the children who are being raised by liberals and who are being corrupted and who are losing their innocence because of progressive Satanism.